It's not safe. Right on, now. Wash your arms. Only with this.
Let us through, I know her!
What's her name?
Therese Dubois.
Make room there!
What was she doing?
Back! Fleur, what does this mean?
Hey!
Fleur?
All of you, back! Move back, move back!
Fleur? Fleur? This is an age of glorious discovery. Galileo observes the moons of Jupiter. Jupiter, ladies. And for the first time in the history of mankind, we understand the motions of the celestial bodies as well as our own. Pump of the heart, the circular flush of the blood. But what is the role of women in this age of wonder? Your menfolk will tell you that an education is a danger to your fragile mind. My women of Paris, seek your own enlightenment. God gave you life, not man. It is your Christian duty to live this life to its fullest.
Was it an attempt on my life?
The young woman merely wanted to present this petition to the Queen.
To me? Why?
She was an orphan from a humble background. It had something to do with a plea for women's education.
If she was an illiterate orphan, she could not have written this. It is misguided, but not unintelligent.
You don't favour women's education?
I admire learning wherever it is to be found, but this amounts to an attack on the authority of church and state.
Stay out of my way. I will address the king.
Comtesse de la Roque. To what do I owe the honour?
Your Majesty, I want to know why this tragedy happened. If your guards are to blame, I want them punished.
You knew this lunatic?
She was sane as you or me. Well, me anyway. She was the daughter of a servant of mine. She had wits and ability. I decided to give her an education.
A servant girl? An education? Sorry, I don't follow.
It seems you educated her too well. She wrote this, and then was killed trying to give it to the Queen.
Don't be ridiculous. She didn't write it, I did.
Did you tell this young girl to give her petition to the Queen?
I merely told her that the Queen is a woman of wisdom and kindness, who might sympathise with our cause. I shall read it.
Walk with me in the garden, Ninon. I've often found your company so stimulating.
Another time, Your Majesty. I am too distressed at present.
Did she just refuse my company?
I believe she did, sire.
Aloud?
Apparently the Comtesse de la Roque believes herself above the normal laws and conventions of society. The Treasury is bankrupt and the country needs a new navy. Nino has the wealth to provide it. Does she trust you?
She knows me only as the wealthy widow Madame de la Chapelle. I am famous for my good works.
Your job is to find something I can use against her. These girls she encourages. Is her interest in them healthy?
How like a man to think of that. I have no evidence to suggest otherwise.
Then find some. Nino must pay up or face destruction. I want every last penny from her.
I can't bear the thought of Fleur alone, lost in Paris.
We'll find her. I promise.
What am I going to tell her father? He's my husband's cousin.
How long have you known her friend, Therese?
A month or so. There is one thing that might help. Comtesse de la Roque had taken an interest in her. She was teaching her to read and write.
Many enlightened nobles show kindness to their servants.
This was more than that. Therese knew Greek and Latin and had even studied the stars. Fleur attended some of her lessons too. They went in secret.
Luca, I'm delighted to see you. Why didn't Rome inform us you were coming?
It is an informal visit, Your Eminence.
Your Majesty, Father Luca Sistini.
Luca and I are old friends. We were at the seminary together.
Sistini? Aren't you that Jesuit priest who wrote that terrible pamphlet? What did it say?
Well, if I remember correctly, it was an argument for the Pope's absolute authority over national rulers in all matters, both spiritual and temporal. Any leader who defied him could be legally overthrown and even killed with the papal blessing.
That's the one.
It's just a room my people can't read. Well, they might get ideas.
My apologies for any offense. I trust your time in Paris will be pleasant, however brief it may be.
Your Majesty, a young woman, Fleur Baudin, has gone missing. A friend of the girl who died this morning. We have reason to believe the Comtesse de la Roque may know something of her whereabouts.
What makes you say so?
She regularly attended the Comtesse's salon and seems enthralled by her.
That's very, very shocking. We can't have the Comtesse abducting young women and spiriting them away to her boudoir.
Whatever are you implying, Cardinal?
There have been ugly rumors, Your Majesty. It's all scurrilous nonsense, I'm sure.
And Enon is so very pretty, I could listen to her nonsense all day. Handle the matter discreetly. The Comtesse is from a very distinguished family. I don't want her upset unduly.
You are too generous, Your Majesty.
Yes, I know. It is a weakness.
Does anyone here know the whereabouts of Mademoiselle Fleur Baudin?
If you have questions, monsieur, address them to me.
Comtesse de la Roque. I am here on behalf of the king. My name is...
I know who you are. I've often seen you at court and thought how handsome you are. There is a melancholy aspect to your looks that I find intriguing, but it's probably only mental vacancy.
I hope not. Forgive our intrusion.
I will not forgive it. This is a place of scholarship, where women can enjoy each other's company without the crude attentions of men. What is it that you want?
We are looking for Fleur Baudin. She has run away from her family and they are anxious.
Anxious to marry her into a life of domestic slavery, no doubt. She's not here. You can go now.
No brooch. What does it mean?
It is a wren. A bird that cannot be caged. A symbol of hope and freedom.
A symbol of your own dreams and ambitions, I would imagine.
We have a romantic in our midst. Observe, ladies, a remarkable phenomenon. A man of wisdom and perception.
If by romantic you mean a man who gladly acknowledges the superiority of the female sex, then I accept the description.
Your charm won't work here. We are quite immune.
We're not here to discuss your beliefs. We're looking for Fleur Baudin.
And I've already told you she's not here.
Then you won't mind if we search your house?
On the contrary, I mind very much.
I could insist.
Or you could take my word. Am I right? Is there an undecidedness that informs the beauty of your features? Answer me honestly, and I shall allow you to search my house.
We all have our deep secrets and hidden emotions, Comtesse. Allow me to keep mine to myself.
A barely adequate answer. But I am feeling indulgent. Follow me.
That wasn't flirting. I don't know what is. Rubbish. She
she can't stand him. One day we'll sit down and I'll explain women to you.
So, why are you really here? Pope Urban does not send his envoys without good reason.
His Holiness is concerned about the direction of French foreign policy.
Well, the Pope is Spain's performing monkey. I speak with the greatest respect for his holy office, of course.
Of course. Need I remind you that you are a cardinal, one of the highest officers within the Catholic Church?
I'm also First Minister of France. In matters of religion, I defer to Rome. In all else, I am my country's servant.
France's alliance with Sweden is both unnatural and undesirable.
Now we come to it.
Protestants are the enemies of the true faith.
Sweden is an important strategic ally. The treaty is indispensable.
There are those who fear for King Louis's immortal soul if it is ratified.
Oh, that's so medieval.
Medieval? You think to have faith is medieval?
We're not in the seminary now, Luca. This is not the time or the place for sophistry. Tell the Pope that France will not break with Sweden.
Is that your final word on the subject?
It is.
Well, now that our business is concluded, I have gifts for you. From the Holy Father. He has always been fond of you.
He hates me, but let it pass.
The knee bone of St. Anthony of Padua, one of Rome's most precious relics. It is old and by God's grace immaculately preserved.
So I see.
I had other gifts for you, but sadly they were stolen on my arrival.
I'm sorry to hear that. Now, if you'll excuse
There
me...
is just one other small thing.
There, you've searched every room in my house.
I would have taken your word. It was you who insisted on the search.
Fleur Baudin is not here. I don't know where she is. Do you know how many husbands, fathers, lovers, brothers come here looking for their lost girls? It can never be that these women choose to leave of their own free will. It must always be that Ninon de la Roque has corrupted them.
Therese and Fleur were far below you in status. They were not in a position to make a decision of their own free will.
I view all women as equals, no matter what the circumstances of their birth.
You have the money and position to indulge such whims. Look outside your window and tell me everyone is equal.
You accuse me of hypocrisy.
Thank you for your help.
May I see you again?
Why?
That's why. Come back this evening and dine with me.
The Holy Father has been ill. Thoughts naturally turn to the succession. There are many who consider you the outstanding candidate. The highest office within the Catholic Church is within your grasp. You must choose what to do next. This woman, the Comtesse de la Roque, deal with her firmly. The Church likes it when heresy is rooted out.
I wouldn't go so far as to call her a heretic.
A woman who openly defies God's laws, what other word is there?
I am deeply humbled. I will consider my options.
Perhaps you can pray to St. Anthony for guidance.
I'm sure his face was a picture when you kissed her.
Why shouldn't I make the first approach to a man I desire?
I can never be so bold.
You'd be amazed at what can happen when a woman takes the initiative.
I'm sure I would. Be careful. I know this man. He will seek to trap you and steal your voice. You know him? How? It's only a passing acquaintance. Between ourselves, Fleur Baudin, she here? Don't look so worried. I won't kiss you again if you don't desire it.
I'm better prepared to fight you off this time.
Shall we dine?
There's something I need to show you first.
Why are you showing me this?
Don't you feel responsible?
I gave her an education, clothing and food. Is that a crime?
It is if you encourage the reckless act that cost her life.
I did no such thing. I was so fond of her. I feel pity and sorrow, but not guilt.
I didn't mean to upset you.
Yes, you did. This is the way we all must end. Our foolish hearts stopped. Souls utterly departed. She was too young. Please, cover her face. Do you know him?
A thief. He escaped me this morning. How did he die?
No idea. I've had a dozen fresh cadavers already. He'll have to wait his turn.
Look after this bag. I'll send for it in the morning. May I ask, do you dislike men?
I have had many suitors. Some really quite acceptable. But I believe marriage to be a curse. I will not submit to it.
As it happens, I agree. But why?
I am a wealthy woman. But on my wedding day, everything that I own becomes the property of my husband, including my body. I will not be owned by anyone.
So what they say is true. You are a rebellious woman.
Does that frighten you?
No. But I was married once, and now I'm done with romance.
It ended badly.
You could say that.
I am sorry for it. I want equality between the sexes, not hate.
Trouble!
These are the Cardinals, men. I knew nothing of this. Stay back.
Where is your authority for this?
We found them! Sleeping in a hidden chamber.
Comtesse de la Roque.
On the orders of the Cardinal, you are under arrest for the abduction of Fleur Baudin and others.
You said she wasn't here.
She begged me not to tell anyone. Please! Make them stop!
Sorry, I can't.
4 young women in their nightwear. We can only speculate as to the horrors they have endured.
The girls claim they were not coerced.
Then why lock them in a secret chamber?
What will happen to these poor children?
They will be returned to their families as soon as possible.
And the Comtesse?
She will be held at the Monastery of the Holy Cross awaiting trial.
I detect the foul stench of witchcraft in all this.
The Comtesse de la Roque? A witch? How marvelous. Can she fly on a broomstick? Make love potions?
Your Majesty is joking, but Satan is real, and his female familiars are everywhere amongst us. Evil must be extinguished wherever it is detected. Rome will be following these events with great interest.
What a wonderfully unpleasant little man.
Witchcraft. What nonsense.
I'm sure witches are supposed to be ugly. Comtesse didn't have any warts, did you?
Why is she being tried here? The Cardinal wants to avoid a public hearing. Does anyone really believe in witchcraft? The accusation is a fine way to stop the tongues of outspoken women.
She had the girls. She lied. She brought her fate on herself.
You're being too hard on her. She was protecting the girl, not deceiving you. For what it's worth, madame, this trial is a mockery of religion. The God I believe in stands for love, not cruelty.
You are a contradiction, Monsieur Aramis. A soldier who preaches love, and a famous libertine who cherishes women.
We all search for truth in different ways. If you have faith in your heart, take this. Please, take it. My God will not abandon you.
It's not so easy when you don't have money. We all have to accept our fate in life.
Why? So we can end up like you, married to a man you hate.
I don't hate Bonacieux. I'm only trying to be realistic.
Do you know the shame you brought on my name?
Hey! There's no need for that.
This is family business. You stay out of it. I trusted you to look after her. You knew she was meeting that woman and you lied to cover for her.
She only wanted an education.
What's she need education for? She'll be a seamstress until she's married, and then she'll be a dutiful wife and mother. That's all.
Constance, help me, please.
Out of my way. If you hurt her, Anna, I'm not gonna hurt her. I love her. But why won't she do as she's told?
Does your daughter understand her duty?
She is young. If there's any way your eminence could spare her this ordeal, I hope to make a good marriage for her as soon as the trial is over.
An excellent plan. Her husband will calm her down. Just make sure she speaks the truth. God will be watching. And so will I. Comtesse Ninon de la Roque, confess your offenses now and spare your victims the ordeal of giving testimony.
I cannot confess to imaginary crime.
Do you deny you believe in Satan's magic? Now I advise you to consider your answers seriously.
And I advise you not to ask ridiculous questions.
Fleur Baudin, come forward.
Just do the right thing, right?
All will be well if you tell the truth, child. What happened to you at the Comtesse's salon?
I have a drink of water.
Answer my question.
The Comtesse taught us things.
What things? Many of our young women are educated. It isn't something we're ashamed of.
Not just embroidery and sewing. Natural philosophy, the movement of the cosmos, the secrets of our bodies.
Your bodies. So she took you and locked you in a secret room. Showed you intimate things.
You twist every word that comes out of her mouth.
Be quiet, or you'll be gagged.
I was gagged the day I was born a woman.
Cheap sentiment from the decadent romance novels your acolytes waste their time in reading. There's no need to be ashamed, child. This woman has used you for her foul appetites. You cannot be blamed.
You're making her work sound corrupt. You will suffer for this. You're the one who'll be judged.
Take her away. The court will hear the testimony of Madame de la Chapelle. Madame de la Chapelle, tell us of your experiences at the Comtesse's salon.
Ninon did to me what I saw her do to other women. She gave me wine and a bitter potion of some kind. I felt unsteady, as though in a reverie. I awoke in her private chamber. My clothes had been removed. I remember spells and ritual incantations. I felt a deep and terrible shame.
Why are you saying these things?
This woman is a liar! She is not even who she claims to be! She is a convicted criminal and a deceiver!
Why does this man accuse me? Is he a friend of Ninon's?
Restrain him immediately!
She is not to be trusted!
The court has heard enough from this witness. You are excused. Who's that? Comtesse Ninon de la Roque. It has been proven in the sight of God that you are a practicing witch who has consorted with the devil. The court finds you guilty on all counts.
But Mrs. Magnuson, I am not a witch. They do not exist.
More blasphemy! Stop her mouth!
Wait! At a time to be determined, you will be taken to a place of execution. Your body will be burned to ashes. Your Majesty,
It is the king's wish that unless the Comtesse de la Roque confesses her crimes freely and without torture, she be spared the death sentence.
I have never consorted with the devil until this moment. I am looking at it.
condemned from her own mouth. Such language amounts to a to
poisonous rose. Definitely poison.
What if he is called to God's right hand? What will I do?
All will be well, I'm sure. The cardinal is made of granite.
Please don't die. Please don't die.
Mimeticus!
Whoever did this, I want them found.
The Cardinal. Will he live? He's been no friend to the Musketeers.
We're all servants of France, Your Majesty.
I did not expect to find my gift to you around the Comtesse's neck. Is Nino your lover? She is beautiful.
She's a good woman facing a hideous death. I only wanted to comfort her.
Forgive me. Your compassion does you credit.
Where's the Comtesse?
They took her back to her cell. Cardinal?
Still alive? Just.
Who has a reason to poison him?
Who hasn't?
Athos. That woman, Madame de la Chapelle. Where is she?
How do you know her? How do you know she was lying?
Her whole life is a lie.
Whoever she is, she can wait. Right now, our job is to find out who tried to kill the Cardinal.
It was clearly the witch. You all heard her curse him.
He was poisoned, not bewitched.
Satan turned his blood into acid at her command. I've seen it before.
We'll add Satan to the list of suspects.
And I should pray for the Cardinal's life. Because when men such as he are helpless against the powers of evil, then none of us are safe. I leave for Rome in the morning. Paris is no place for pious men.
Your bag, Father. It was found in the morgue with the body of the man who stole it. I'll see it's returned to you before you leave.
We need to speak to Fleur Baudin.
You think I poisoned him?
That's the most stupid thing I've ever heard, even by Musketeers standards.
No talk, please.
Tell us the truth.
I didn't hurt him. I didn't do anything, I swear it. I have to go. My father is waiting. You know him to be married. He's a 40-year-old widower with a butcher's stall in Montmartre.
Oh, he's a very good catch.
Was it you?
That's your first question. I'm touched.
Am I dying?
Half the doctors say you're doomed. The other half claim you'll make a full recovery. There's a lot of professional pride at stake.
I'm glad you find this amusing. Where's Athos? What is he to you?
Let's not speak of it now. You must concentrate on your health.
Whatever happens to me, I want you to extract this confession from Ninon. If she admits she is a witch, her entire estate will be forfeit to the crown.
You're disgusting. What is it?
The Libra of St. Anthony. I shall pray for his intercession.
Why not? He'll be as much use as the doctors.
Robert!
What do you want?
You know marrying Fleur to the highest bidder won't make anyone happy.
It's a good match.
She doesn't love him. Robert, I know you. You're a good man. Give Fleur time and she'll make you proud. Force her into this marriage and she'll never forgive you. Is that what you want? Fleur told me what you said at the trial, that she should do the right thing. Now it's your turn.
Have you come here to gloat?
I wouldn't waste my energy.
There is nothing worse than a woman who betrays her own sex.
I can think of a few things, but let's not argue.
Why do you hate me? How have I ever hurt you?
You didn't. You're simply a victim of circumstance. Now, sadly, you must die.
Not unless I admit to the charges. And I shall never do that.
If you don't confess, the women of your salon will burn in your place. Surely you wish to save the lives of your accomplices in Satan?
You would do this? You would kill them even though you know they are innocent?
Admit you poisoned the cardinal as well. You might as well be thorough.
Order them to make the pyre. She will die at first light.
Queen won't like it. Nor the king.
She is irrelevant. The new navy will soothe his dismay. Do you ever wonder what is to come after this life?
Never. Kingdom of heaven is a dream. Our only life is here.
Pure heresy.
Why don't you burn me?
I would. But be careful. One day someone else might. I have done terrible things. My account with God is not yet balanced. I am afraid that if I die, I shall go to hell.
You're already in hell. Don't you recognize it?
Well, if it wasn't Fleur, who was it?
Nina?
Nah, she was nowhere near him.
Where's the bag? One of her followers there. We should look at everyone that went to her salon. Perhaps one of them met with the gardener. Did you ever find out how he died?
Some form of apoplexy. He was having a drink at an inn nearby. One moment he was laughing and joking, and the next he convulsed and fell down dead on the spot.
Just like the cardinal. Sistine. Open his mouth.
You open his mouth.
He stinks.
Well, he's dead.
Not like that. There's something bitter on his tongue.
Either this man had disgusting eating habits or something's badly wrong.
I know that smell. It was on the cardinal's breath. Pages are damp. Poison. Wash your hands. Everything's soaked in it. This is where it came from.
He must have drunk half the bottle before he realized it was an alcohol. The rest not in a bag.
Sistini's still at the Abbey. The cardinal's still alive.
This is the cardinal we're talking about. Why are we running?
death sentence was commuted. Comtesse confessed. Where's Father Sistini? I don't know. He's over there! To the Cardinal's room. You're late. We're glad to find you by your ambulance. I doubt that. But thank you for the sentiment. You know it was Sistini who tried to poison you. A sacred relic. Soaked with poison. An old papal trick. I should have guessed earlier. We're running out of time. You don't need to kill her. Please. You can have everything you want and still let her go free. This is all very dark ages, isn't it? A glimpse of your own mortality does make one rather less eager to hurry others to their doom. I'm not a cruel man, just a practical one. What do you propose? Shut up! The sentence is commuted! Cardinal's orders! The sentence is commuted!
I will not die today.
Not today, madam.
Your God did not abandon me after all.
How come God gets all the credit?
As far as the world is concerned, Comtesse Ninon de la Roque died on that pyre today. Your lands, your property, and your money will all be forfeit to the state. But I will allow you a small income to live a quiet life somewhere outside Paris. If you try to tell the truth of these events, your original sentence will be reinstated. Do you accept my terms?
My voice will never be silenced. But I promise you will never hear it.
What about the monks? They'll know.
It's a closed order. Gossip is not encouraged. We need a body to make this look convincing. Luckily, one has just become available. Today I find my vision clearer than ever. Nothing. No person. No nation. No God will stand in my way.
Take this, monsieur. May it bring you as much luck as it did me.
See, they are delivered to Rome. Say Cardinal Richelieu sends his compliments and promises his holiness that if he wishes to send any more envoys, they will be returned in the same condition.
You do realise you'll never be Pope?
I never really cared for the idea. It's an Italian club and largely a clerical position. I prefer something with a little more influence.
What will you do now?
I was thinking of opening a school for the daughters of the poor. I shall enjoy being a teacher.
Madame de la Chapelle, did she ever tell you anything about herself?
Now that I think of it, very little. So you did know her after all?
In another time? In another life?
Be careful, Athos. She has the Cardinal's protection. A blow against her is a blow against him. And you won't take it lightly. I could have loved a man like you.
It's a pity. Neither of us is the marrying kind.
Constance! You won't believe what's happened. My father has changed his mind. I don't have to marry yet. He's even letting me continue my education.
I wonder what happened.
It's strange. He said a woman persuaded him. I'm sure it was Nina. She was so beautiful and inspiring. For example, made even my father see sense. I'll pray for her every night.
I'm happy for you. Well, I must get on.
It was you who went to Bodan, wasn't it? You pleaded for Fleur.
Don't be silly.
You are the finest woman I have ever met. I don't believe there's a more generous soul in all of France.
Stop that. You're embarrassing me.
What if I want to embarrass you? Why shouldn't I list all the reasons I love you? Of course, when I say that, I mean admire, respect.
Say it again.
I admire and respect you.
Not that part, you idiot.
I love you.
Any of my musketeers could thrash any of your red guards at any time.
1,000 leave, Captain Treville is right.
The reputation for violence is well established. Now, there's something useful with it.
If you wish to see the Musketeers destroyed, D'Artagnan is the key.
Still no commission from the musketeers. There are other regiments.
What do you do for him?
I'm a soldier, just like you. 30 livres, is that right?
D'Artagnan has it in him to be the greatest of us all. But you have stolen his best chance to prove it.
You're now dead.
Plenty more original British drama this week here on BBC One. Silk continues tomorrow at 9. And then on Tuesday there's a new series of compelling murder mysteries on Shetland. Or coming up tonight, a double bill of Family Guy in 15 minutes over on BBC 3.